All right, let's do it. We're gonna go live right now. Let's fire it. All right, hello and welcome to the Icon Underground Community Clubhouse. This is, of course, an hour-long dedicated forum to covering the latest developments in the Incognito project. We're going to dive into the heart of the collection and, well, try and hear it from some people from behind the icons. And as such, you're always welcome to join. I was going to introduce, of course, a few guests, but Ralph, you dropped back into listener. I'll send you another invite. But anybody watching right now, feel free to hop in the Twitter Spaces, and I'll send you guys a request to get up here. But with that said, I'm going to cover a few things. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube and everybody watching the replay a little later. But let's cover a few announcements, guys, that are going on in the Incognito community space. Going to cover a couple updates. I'm going to get into a look at some recent sales, guys. I found some icons that sold in the last 24 hours that give you some encouraging feeling that people are still coming into the space and still excited about Incognitos and looking to pick some new ones up. I'm going to cover at least a cool 3 sales in the last 24 hours. Let's see here. Price talk. Yeah, we're going to get to the price a little bit. In fact, that's kind of one of the main things I want to lead with. And let's take a look here. Somebody just request? No, we're good. Okay. Yeah, so price is one of the things we're going to cover. We're going to get into the roadmap as always because there's good things to check in on, and you're going to get the AMA. Usually people have a habit of dropping in later on the Twitter Spaces, so let's just let's see where the night takes us. All right, what do we have next? Let's get into this. All right, if you guys check out the announcement channel over on Discord, you will find this message from a Dynasty. It's an update on the project. Wishes everybody well. And, he kind of reflects on, the decrease, not just obviously in Icon, but across the space, right? The decrease in sales, the overall status of the NFT space. This is something we all understand because we are all, diehards of the space. So, we cannot act completely surprised. And so a lot of people, he's writes here, must look around before getting too frustrated with the collection and the amazing community we built. The entire NFT space is going through a down cycle at the moment. This was expected, just like downswings happen in every type of industry or space where heavy investing happens and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so it's crypto, guys. It's quite simple. Things pump like crazy, things get euphoric, and then things have to cool down. But the good news is that this is still a very much a thriving industry, and it's only, just kind of like ICOs had a bit of a shakeout. A lot of great projects rose out since then. So I think it might even happen on a tighter timetable, to be honest. But at the moment, the market needs a little bit of correction. Is that what we're experiencing right now? Sure, seems like it. And this is Dynasty in the announcement chat, reflecting on all of this. And honestly, guys, I will let you read this for yourself. I'm going to leave the link in the description below, as well as, just check it out on the Discord. It's right here in the announcements. It's one of the most recent things the team has posted. Talks about the money cycle in the markets, what's going on here. Talks about floor and volume, of course. There's some very relevant comparisons here to what kind of corrections, what kind of prices all the other major collections have had. And I imagine, I haven't exactly picked through every one of these, but I imagine things are very, very favorable because unlike other projects, we haven't exactly pumped, right? Like it's one thing to pump and then dump and have a huge mountain to climb back to the top. We have had the good fortune, honestly, of not having pumped prematurely before this whole thing collapsed, because now we're just kind of cruising along, and we don't have this dirty feeling that most of these other NFTs will for many investors, right? Many investors are quite spread out. They might have any number of these tokens here. And you know what? A lot of these might have a great deal of trouble recovering and for people to build up enthusiasm and love for again. And as a consequence, there's not going to be, the next cycle is not going to necessarily involve these ones climbing. Like they might, because these are still very relevant and, I get that they're big collections, but what I wager to say is that some of these things might be very challenged in bouncing back, opposed to something like Icon, which is barely pulled back really, because it's never had that never indulged in that bubble, so it doesn't have the opportunity to pop, basically. So by not popping, I think we're perfectly poised for the next, I think, part of the cycle. And that's, I think, I mean, guys, I'm paraphrasing a great deal here. I do recommend you go read this. All right, what else can I update everybody on? Yes, there's something important here, and that's, of course, multiple events, multiple giveaway events, right? There's an OpenSea event still going on, 48 hours left. Don't forget that more icons you own, the higher chances you have of winning. You must change your profile pic to an icon as well. All right, more details here. So I recommend you guys check out the icon update channel over on the Discord server. So there is the OpenSea, there's a Discord challenge, there's an Instagram challenge. The prizes keep coming, the giveaways keep coming. It is all quite generous. And shout out to everybody who just, won. I think I scroll back up this page here. I think there's a bunch of winners. Shout outs, I think, to everybody who won yesterday. Let's get into another matter here. So yes, prizes. There's definitely no lack of prizes here. Here's a little update to the Sneak Peeks channel. We have, yes, the Lego sculptures by the famous artist. Yes, little glimpse, a little sneak peek, I guess, at the goodies that await the baller, the big spender, who's gonna pick up the Lego pieces. The Lego pieces, of course, are sure to fetch insane money. This is like limited Lego memorabilia in a sense. It's expected these things will fetch, what, 20, 40 ETH even right now. So quite special. All right, shout outs to everybody who's joining the live chat here. Let's invite if you want to speak. Let's just say if you got an icon in your profile pic, I know you're legit. This guy, well, let's see what happens. And Ralph I know is legit. All right, let's return to a few things I want to cover on today's show, guys. Let's go ahead and get into a few more topics here. Indeed. So, yes, we have a few updates here. There's another major update I think I need to do here, and it's, of course, the roadmap. It's kind of tangential to the roadmap, but I'll show you guys right now on screen, especially if you're watching on YouTube. Check this out. I'm going to put this on the screen for you right now. And it looks a bit like this. Big update got pushed to the OpenSea marketplace. Glass icons and androids are now mostly animated. Yes, these ones that are lacking the animations right now are just a metadata needs to refresh. But you can see largely that a lot of the results are the video results, and it now applies to the androids and to the glass. So they really are nearly finished rolling out the animations, which are, of course, previewable, right? You can press the play button and preview them with the results. Pretty slick. And you can click on them and preview them here, of course. Check this out. All right, so as you can see, guys, glass, especially rotating, looks insane. So reflective, very cool. It's gonna be fun to render things on glass down the road. So there is a look at the glass, and maybe just for good measure, let me show you what a rotating Android looks like as of today. Officially today, Androids are on the rotation. Here, let's take a look. Here is a rotating Android. And again, guys, I know I can repeat myself a lot, but the lighting is a big thing. Texture is obviously one huge part of the icon collection, and lighting in terms of how the artist determined to render it, so to speak, is really good, guys. Lighting is what really brings a lot of this to life. And I gotta say, things like the Android, with the metallic, not just the metallic, but I guess the high detailed texture spinning, so the lighting effects kind of really are prominent. It just looks insane. So wow, shout outs to the update, guys. This is really going to help push icons into the next phase. I think that's coming up. But in the meantime, let's keep it rolling. What else do we have to cover here? All right, let me just quickly take a look. All right, here's what I suppose we can get into, cover a little bit more news. All right, gonna look at a couple news things, guys. Gonna look at a few icons that sold today, cover a little bit of price action and a few other things before we, of course, get to the AMA portion. So if anybody here in the Twitter spaces wants to get up on the stage, ask a few questions, we can get to that. You can, of course, hop in any moment and get your questions in. But let's keep it rolling. I'm going to cover a little news item here just to put things in perspective, guys. This is where we are as a space. Here's a article from Cointelegraph. OpenSea's NFT volume is down 50% after a monumental surge in August. The lending NFT platform records a natural decline in sales volume after surpassing 4 billion in August as an industry record. All right, so basically you're setting records in volume in the space. And let me just see here. Before I even begin reading the article, I think no, they didn't include a chart, but if they did, the volumes were gangbusters. It's insane how much money flooded in the course of a month. I mean, it was already popping off throughout the course of the summer, but in August, the investors really stepped on the gas. Subsequently, this is where we are. The market needs a little correction, a cool off after something like that. But at the same time, this demonstrates there's something there. There's something there that investors went absolutely ham on. Therefore, this you haven't fully cooked this goose just yet. We've got some more to go, but let me look at this article here, read it a little bit for it. Following a colossal surge of 4 billion in sales volumes throughout the month of August for the leading non-fungible token or NFT marketplace OpenSea, recent figures indicated a metaphoric return to Earth after propulsion to the mighty heights of the moon. Man, somebody really enjoyed themselves writing this article. Let's have a look here. NFT marketplaces have a highly paralleled the bearish momentum witnessed across the cryptocurrency markets across last week as platforms, collections, and floor prices all suffered corrections. Indeed, they have, guys. And do you know why this is? Why is it all connected? Because this marketplace is, it's all very much intertwined, right? Crypto, you're buying and processing these things with Ethereum, and who are the buyers here? These are people buying and holding Ethereum. It only makes sense now that NFTs are fundamentally tokens on the chain, just like any other token people buy and trade and speculate, and so on and so forth. So is it really any wonder that all these markets are now moving in parallel? Because it's all fueled largely by, well, let's be honest, speculation. But let's continue. Let's read just a little bit more. Analytical data from DApp Radar reveals that the 7-day period, the sales volume is, I mean, no sales volume sucks right now, guys, considering to not blah, 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 blah. All right, listen, guys, we know the long and the short of this thing. The space got overheated. Question is, when is it going to come roaring back? Sooner than later? Yeah, you bet your ass it's going to be sooner. I'm very excited. Very excited to say that when it does, and it probably will be soon. The next big wave, I think Icon. We're going to be so far on that wave. It's going to be insane. But you got to be an early believer. It's like so many other things. You either get it or you don't. But let's see what else here. All right, I'm going to cover this as well. I am going to drop the link in the Discord right now if anybody wants to check this out. It's going to be in the description below. And check this out. All right, this is Anthony Pompliano talking about NFTs. And, this is something we were talking about yesterday on the show. And that is, the big picture, the big vision, how, NFTs are going to change things. And in many ways, they will. And this is his little spiel on the topic. I put this in the wrong channel. This is his spiel on the topic of NFTs and how they're going to, quote unquote, change the internet. There is a grandiose vision behind these NFTs, guys. There's a reason the prices can actually go to the heights that they do. It's because this is a very unique asset. This is very special, guys. This is like a luxury good, effectively, right? This is like an expensive art piece where there's only so many in the world, and it has some inherent value just by its mere scarcity, right? And tech allows you to kind of, enforce and verify that scarcity model. So do check this out, guys. I'd play this on the show a little bit, but you're gonna get a strike for that. So let's keep it rolling. All right, let's get into some items here. This one, I don't think this is a recent sale per se, but somebody in the Discord chat brought this to my attention. I think they were the owner of this one. Indeed, for 2 ETH, they bought it a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Now, this one is quite something. I have something similar, but not quite on this level, because of course this is, well, robotic, and you got to see this thing. Yes, this is the robotic in its full glory, with the visor, which I really like. Cowboy hat is great, and it's even got the chain. All in all, I think this is like one of the coolest cowboys in the whole collection. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I have something a little similar for my cowboy, but this is the Android future cowboy. It just looks insane. I think this is one of the coolest droids in the whole collection. So big shout outs to the current owner, which happens to be Hedge Fungible. All right, big shout outs to you, homie. That's a good looking cowboy Android. All right, robotic. Let's keep it rolling. All right, here's this. Is this a recent sale? No, this is a recent listing. So this recently listed. Someone put a price on it finally. You want to take a guess what they put the price at? Because you gotta admit, it's pretty cool, right? Well, check this price out. I'm glad this guy is aiming high. 17 ETH. 17 ETH, you ask? Yes, 17 ETH. Why? Well, check this out. Very clean. Three trait plastic. Yes, it's 3 traits. Black plastic crown and the ski mask. This is pretty cool. This is as princely as any ghetto king is ever going to get, right? So this is pretty cool. Ski mask, black plastic, and the crown. Icon number 8013 is really slick. Shoutouts to this address that owns it, and you have my respect for pricing it rightfully at a very lofty 17, because this is really what it's going to be worth easy someday, because I don't know, this is like one of the most gangster ones in the whole collection. So Godspeed, my man. You got it for half an ETH. You got it for half an ETH 2 weeks ago, which is amazing. Someone accepted an offer for half an ETH. And now he puts it up here for 17 ETH, and here I am thinking that this is actually a reasonable price to list this thing at. But then again, I'm a little biased, and I think this one looks super good. All right, so this one I think is a recent sale. Well, let me take a look. Yeah, 3 hours ago, this thing sold for 0.3, right? So it's not bad. People are still shopping in this market. And in this case, somebody decided to get themselves a bargain entry on, well, arguably a very cool crown. Number 4574 is, I think, a 3 trait, which is pretty clean, pretty simple 3 traits. Just checking, yeah, 3 traits. Ski mask marble with, again, the crown. Can you tell that I like the crowns? 0.3, pretty sweet price to get a crown at, not to mention, marble and even ski goggles, the whole thing. Pretty slick combo for just a 0.3 today. So big shout outs to Freed over on OpenSea. Picked up this clean Incognito today. All right, let's keep it rolling. Just, I think, one more icon I want to cover, and that's this one, number 7097. Man, I'm kind of angry that I would have totally bought this myself, especially I think after seeing the price. All right, we could very well be back by now. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little bit of an outage here, but I've restored it. Luckily, the stream didn't go down. Just a microphone failure. No big deal. But at the same time, the Twitter Spaces went down in the process. So if you're still out there, if you're still on Twitter Spaces, sorry for getting you guys ejected. Do rejoin this one. In fact, why don't I send you the link, guys, right now? If you're still around, please do check it out. I will be depositing the link right now in the chat and also in the general here. Thanks for everybody hanging tight. Do join the Spaces link here. All right, wonderful. Let's keep the ball rolling, guys. Don't mind the minor disruption here. What are we doing next? All right, so we're just looking at these three before we had a bit of an outage. I probably got cut off mid-sentence, but no worry. We're gonna keep it rolling. Whoops. Let's call this, let's get this guy onto the screen. Gucciano? What's up, bro? Let's get you in here, come on. All right, big shout outs to our new guests. Feel free to say a few words. Let's pop.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Doing good. What's going on, dude?
Just chilling. I was watching on YouTube, but I wanted to ask you something.
Right. Yeah, let's hear.
So, for rare traits, a lot of people go for rarity, top ranks, they see more value. For me personally, I think aesthetic looks matter a lot more. I don't know, like if other people agree, but I feel like long term, like aesthetic wise, I think those would be more valuable in the long run.
Yes, it certainly seems to be the meta, so to speak, of the collection, and it's something I think most icon holders figure out. I don't know, like after a week or two of collecting, maybe after buying the first one. I mean, that's how I personally kind of got into it. I thought, all right, I'll just buy one rare one. I'll look up a good rarity. I'll buy a rare one, and that should be good. I don't really need to collect too much more. But then I get the one rare one. I'm like, but you know what? What I really want is not the rare one. I want to buy this other one. I want to just get the concrete, right? The one I really like is the concrete. All right, so I'll get the rare one and one concrete. But obviously, one concrete's not enough, so you got to get a few more. And then pretty soon, the next bunch that you buy, at least I found, not just me, but others as well, end up being, aesthetic picks, man, for sure. This is very much an aesthetic collection. There's an obviously, it's still underpinned by kind of a basic foundation of, the rarities and the materials and some of the traits. So naturally, we kind of know that there's a tier list in terms of materials, right? Golds at the top and white plastics at the bottom. Then there's like some certain desirable traits. Some things have preferences among people in communities. Some things will be popular later. Some things are popular now. But it's kind of you're right. There's certainly an aesthetic thing to it, but underlying that too, there's certainly the rarity is not nothing. It still reflects some relative rarity to the way the combinations can work out. So I'm not saying that the rarity is not nothing, but absolutely this thing is oozing in so much good looks and sex appeal that, like, of course, you want to aesthetically have something that you really, really do like, right? So that's the beauty of Icon.
Yeah, definitely. That's what appealed to me the most, honestly. Like, especially like the detail and like the 6K resolution is just like insane. Like I don't think there's any other project that's as detailed as Incognito is right now, and it's like I feel like it's so underrated, and once more people like discover this project, it's just gonna, there's so much potential, I feel like.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it takes a certain kind of person to appreciate that right now. But in due time, I think if we have faith, if you're really here and you really like it, you're an OG. This is how like stuff that's legit gets started. It gets a legit following first. It's like a cult following in smaller circles first, and then it's cool enough that the normies and the average person wants to buy in, right? And then so along with this little market correction we're having, you know, we might have a little correction in like tastes and direction for the space, right? You know, the whole space might mature and grow as a result of this little correction that we're having right now, however long it may last. And out of it are going to come quality projects and you know, more discerning buyers and investors. And you know, Icon's doing it legit. It's not it's not some pop-up stand here. These guys are you know, building a big like a company. They have a multi-year, I think, vision of supporting these products. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I like most, like the organic growth and the community that is in it right now. They see that potential and they believe in it and appreciate everything the team's doing right now. I only have one right now. I'm trying to save up for more, but I
What kind do you
definitely
got?
want. I have the cowboy hat one. It's on my Discord. The black plastic with the white
Oh yeah,
cowboy hat.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're gonna have one, you know, having a cowboy hat is pretty sick.
yeah. I really like your. I'm the same way with you. The crown, the leaf crown with the concrete or marble, like any of those
Yeah,
are
this looks so
fire,
good.
bro.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, dude. Those are the ones that, you know, I had to have. Those are like the first ones I went to after I got the rarities because they
yeah,
weren't too expensive in the original days, and they were the ones that at first like turned me on to the whole collection. Like those are the ones I'm like, oh man, I love those. Those are the ones. If I'm gonna have one, I think it's got to be one of these leaf crown marble concretes, right?
yeah, for sure,
So
dude.
I love concrete. So even if you know, don't get me wrong, I love some of my really high end um, you know, bronzes and the glass and the androids and you know some other stuff is cool and expensive in the collection, but I also take a lot of enjoyment out of you know, some of the lower combinations, you know, arguably lower, but you know, again, some of my concretes are awesome. I can see myself maybe selling some like my bronze or something down the road, but I can, you know, maybe if there's going to be one last icon standing in my wallet one damn day, it's going to be like the concrete, you know, with the leaf crown for sure.
Yeah, those are clean. I'd hold those forever. Honestly, those are very nice.
Crowns are sick. The chains are sick. You know, another one that people are sleeping on that people have no idea that's going to be like the hottest one day. You better
Which is
get
that?
yourself one. All right, so hear me out. Okay, it might take a while, but all right.
All
So
right.
you know diamond chains.
Yeah,
All right, so you know how like a big part of this collection in a lot of ways is the lighting, is the reflectivity of some of the accessories of the glass, and so on and so forth. Right, like everything, all the metallic shit has some reflectivity in it. So you know, right now, you need a lot of hardware to render all that light and make it look so good. But in the future, you know, you're going to do like real time lighting. You're going to import these models into something that can do a lot of this lighting, you know, real time. And diamond chain under the light is going to like be one of like the most sparkliest items, you know, in the whole collection. Like, you know, the diamond earrings, like, 'cause everything in this thing pops, right? So as soon as you shine some
yeah,
light
bro.
on it, it sparkles. So it's like right now, you know, normal 2D image or something on your screen, you don't really see it. But then, like, I don't know, 5 years from now, when you're strapped into some VR environment and you got your diamond chain on, in VR, this thing is like glistening like crazy, right? And it's like one of the few traits, along with a few other things, that's just like sparkling like mad in the world, right? So I don't know. That's just my rationale, guys. Maybe that's a little too far out, but like I said, look for things that look cool and shiny, and they're gonna look better as time goes on.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I like the Cuban chain. Like I was like, oh man, like I saw that on one of the gold ones that spins, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to save up for one of those. The earrings, like the shades, like that shit's heat.
For sure, for sure. Pretty soon you want one of everything, right? Especially the ones you like. It's funny how it works. But you know, if like you're getting that FOMO, if I'm getting that FOMO, if we're getting that collector bug biting, that's like, you know, you want like a couple nice icons in your collection because you just like them for some reason. There's going to be enough people out there with money that want to do that, and they're going to be fiending to get a few collected, right? And there's ones that you might never expect, is what I think. There will be icons that right now people are sleeping on. I was mentioning the other day sailor hats. I think sailor hats are ones that people like obviously don't like right now, but there might be like an influx of users, of interested parties that are like for some reason love the sailor hat. They think it looks dope and sophisticated as hell, and there's not that many of them. So there's going to be tokens that like as the icon gets appreciation among like different markets, you don't even know what's going to be in vogue or what people are going to like end up really liking, right? I mean, one thing's for sure, obviously the high-end materials are dope. Glass is always going to be dope. Gas masks is going to be dope. Big helmets and hats are going to be dope. It's I like it. It's like anybody, it doesn't take long to hang out and scroll through icons and get a feel for how icons work, and to get an idea, how everything stacks up. Like, you don't need to like constantly reference the freaking tier list to know, okay, this is legit. This is I can see why this is expensive, or, like, it's fun. It has a very cool approach to collecting and choosing these things, obviously.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice that too. Like when you called out the sailor hat, and I was like, you're right. Like that is very like sophisticated, especially with all like these yacht clubs and like derivatives, and like I'm sure once they find out about this, they're gonna want their own like yacht club kind of like um relevance to it, you know?
Yeah, that's the idea. That's really the long-term vision, guys. That's the kind of like tie-ups they're going to have, because really what you're going to have is NFTs. I think are going to come up on there's going to be like a cultural come up for NFTs, right? Where like normie publications and shit, like the boomer spec publications, so like Forbes magazine or 60 Minutes or some shit like that, is going to do a spotlight on NFTs, right? And they're going to be talking about how like rich people are buying up all these NFTs and they're buying nice ones. And one of the things they might spotlight is at that point it's going to be something like, oh, check out this icon where it's got a little bit of everything, including the appeal, the high end marketing appeal of even high end stuff like yachting, right? This is for the truly rich, right? Caters to a true rich taste. So I think just like there's going to be a different kind of appeal. I think the NFTs coming down the road, and in this case, I expect some fresh blood in the space is going to help out a lot, especially when it goes mainstream. Um, Again, guys, I think we all recognize that this has a more sophisticated thing. This kind of plays into I don't know, guys. There's something about it. I'm sure we all know it. Can't quite put your finger on it, but icons all the way, right? Hashtag go incognito. All right. Enough rambling. Let's go ahead and get into the next little bit. I appreciate, of course, homie Gucci. I think it's
Gucciano.
Shout out to Gucciano, holding it down on Twitter. Be sure to follow him. He seems like a cool dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're like 38 minutes into the show, so let's kind of start winding down. Let me check my notes here, see what we're going to look at next. New member spotlight. Yeah, let's just shout outs real quick to all the new members. If you're watching and you're a new member someday, come hop on here and we'll shoot the breeze, see what kind of icons you're into, that kind of thing. So this is where I like to highlight new members, but we'll get some of these days on the show. All right, price floor, market conditions. Yes, should I talk too much more about the price? Come on, we already know about it. All I can really add to the whole topic that I've already said this anyway, but it's about mentally preparing yourself. It's about knowing that this could be protracted correction, could last 3 weeks, could last 6 months, could take till the middle of next year for things to really rebound sharply. And if you're holding a lot of crappy tokens or something, you might not be comfortable. So I'm not trying to revel in it, but I for one am glad I'm holding Icon, because if we haven't had a chance to pull back that hard, like I mentioned earlier, right? I'm perfectly happy laying low. I got all my favorite icons kind of picked out. Maybe I'll sneak in a few more over the next couple of weeks or months, right? Pick out maybe a couple more gems, maybe. I think I'm already good, but maybe pick out a few more gems, and then you're patient, you like it, you keep rolling with it. The team keeps delivering like they're doing right now for the last 4 weeks since launch. They keep delivering, And then, you know, you're going to be so happy with where you're at the end of September or October or November that, you know, you'll be glad you stayed. But I'm sure I'm just preaching to the choir at this point. Like, you know, a few people that are in here know no icon is pretty hot, and it's just a matter of time until the market sees it that way too, and they're going to go crazy. We're doing some cool things here. All right, that's all I'm going to say about price, guys. You know, let's just keep it rolling. Like I said earlier, if you want to talk more on this topic, I highly recommend you go to that announcements channel and read the big post from Dynasty on the topic. All right, so roadmap, other updates. So we've already talked about the animation change in the store, so that's good. What else? What else? It's not a whole lot. I guess I could really pick through some things, but we've already had a pretty good conversation. Let me have a look here. Is there something I need to really cover? No, we're pushing this update, and I guess really what we need to do is read and maybe reread this announcements thing. Okay, this is pretty long. Dynasty didn't write this for nothing. Okay, it's paragraphed and numbered and pretty easy and structured to read, guys. Encourage you to sit down and read it. I could yammer and read this thing for you, but I kind of covered the beginning of the show. Highly recommend you read this because really there's not much more to add after Dynasty's statement here. The vision is long term. Everybody who's tuned into the show for the last couple of nights obviously gets that. All right. What else do I have to add? There's not a whole lot. It's pretty much the AMA portion. Any other questions? I'm going to send some invites out to the people here. If you guys want to get on the stage and talk, feel free to ask a question. If not, I'm going to slowly wind the show down. It's Friday night. I'm sure you can go do something else and enjoy our evening, that sort of thing. Let me just invite here and invite here. All right, cool. Battlefield. This guy's got Battlefield in his profile. You know, that kind of reminds me. That's another thing I always like to get into at the end of the show. Gaming. Yes, we have a gaming channel in the server, guys. I'm going to put that on the screen right now. Gaming is in the social subcategory. And yeah, we talk gaming in here, and I'm still trying to poll the community. So if you're a gamer, let me know kind of like what platform you play on. Do you play PC VR? Like really my dream is we have enough people who play, maybe say, I guess Warzone is probably the best and most likely chance we'll find enough people who play Warzone here. Or somebody said, I'll tell you what it was. There's this guy over here. He said, if it's Apex or Warzone, just call me. I'm there, basically. Where is it? I can't find it, but he did say that earlier. So, yeah, if anybody's into Apex, maybe Warzone. I know those are two of the more popular titles. If we could set up a tournament, I'm sure Dynasty would be down for sponsoring that. I think that'd be super cool. We could stream a bit of a tournament. Who knows? Maybe we could track some gamers, high-profile gamers, maybe. Wink, wink. I mean, guys, we got to think of all towards cool ways to breach the popular culture, right? NFTs are prime for, you know, a lot of people I'm sure have heard about them at this point. How much you gotta really like push it in their face right now for anybody still holding out before they're gonna get in. And that's why I think the next cycle is gonna take hold. All right. Let's see here. Big shout outs to Natrify in the chat here. Thank you for your comments. All right. My man Gucci, Guccione, I think his name was. Any other questions, dude? You got lots of questions. You want to ask anything else before I wind it down?
Just a random question. Where do you make your memes? Like, they come out, like, perfect, bro.
You know, I'm like Photoshop, basically.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't use Photoshop per se. I use something called GIMP. It's like the free version of Photoshop. It's a freeware product, so you don't have to pay anything to use it. Because you shouldn't, you know, you should only use, you know, certain software you pay for, you know, so never use cracked Photoshop, anything like that. So your best bet is to, if you are Photoshop users, to give up using Photoshop. Just learn to use something free like GIMP. It's pretty much just as powerful to some degree. And yeah, I use that. I encourage people to use freeware for stuff like this. What else do we have? Yeah, good question. Thank you. Glad you do like some of the chops. We do some fun things, right? Our chops are cut above. I guess no pun intended. What else? You seen those videos I posted in the general earlier today?
In the general, or
Yeah.
just caught up with
Also in memes. I think I dropped my new video of memes.
Let me see. Oh yeah, the prototype Rapper Money one.
Yeah, there's also another one I gotta drop in there actually. Hold on.
Did you make that beat, or you just got it off YouTube?
No. I'm just grabbing some hot tracks and popping
That
that
goes
shit
good
over.
with it. You got good taste.
I got that shit, tuned just right. Let me have a look. Let me have a look here. Here we go. But yeah, appreciate it. Yep, to check that out. And big shout out to everybody watching at home. It is Friday night though. May as well go enjoy the weekend from here on out. Probably gonna stream Saturday night. Dynasty said he'd be in tomorrow, more than likely for the show. So there you go. I expect that to be popping off. People usually, flood the room when they see Dynasty join. So look forward to doing that tomorrow. But in the meantime, shout outs to everybody who joined and watched here on Twitter Spaces. Everybody watching on YouTube right now. Everybody's gonna watch the replay. Not a lot more to add. Probably cover a lot more stuff tomorrow, but let's call it like it's Friday. All right, thanks again, guys. Peace out.
Later, bro. Good night. Appreciate you.
Night.